Hello, collective ascenders. Today on this video, I wanted to go into some real-time scenarios and situations that I think will be helpful for people who are experiencing the same thing I am. I'm still gearing this channel towards what I intended to help people, and it seems to be in real time, if you understand what I'm saying. Helping some people heal, understand what they may be going through, whether it be emotional, mental, physical abuse with a narcissist in your life, whether it be with a systematic group or singly through a narcissist who either lives with you, family member, friend, co-worker, boss, whoever it may be. Excuse me. So I wanted to start off by, first of all, hopefully you're keeping cool. It's pretty hot over here where I am. So hopefully you're staying hydrated. If you hear my air conditioner, please excuse that, so it may cut off and on. I wanted to start off by talking about currently what the narcissist is attempting to do. The narcissist wants me, yet again, to be rejected and doubted. Like I said in my other videos, that was in physical form with friends, family, co-workers. Started back in 2012. Excuse me. So now, being as though that I'm showing up for myself online, that's what I'm experiencing now, where the narcissist is using certain tactics that have been done in the past many times. Dog whistling, gaslighting, and coercion and manipulation. And I'm going to go into this video later, the difference between manipulation and coercion, how one is conducted in a deeper level that you may not detect. And hopefully this helps other people who may be going through the same thing understand what is going on. Actually deep enough to explain it at a cellular level in your mind when it comes to coercion. So first, I wanted to mention that these things that are happening online, excuse me, I'm dealing with allergies. So these things online, what a lot of people don't know is that I have had to stay one step ahead of the narcissist in order to remain mentally, emotionally, physically healthy. And I do this naturally anyway. As chosen ones, we get these instant downloads and confirmations and messages that keep us safe, because we do have to deal with haters as much as we deal with lovers. So you do have to learn to adapt, and it comes natural and is part of your journey, part of your purpose, in order to be able to help others to know how to alchemize and transmute and understand what is happening before anyone else does. So let me just get right into it. I would say about a year ago, for those who know about my past channel called Chosen One's Umbrella, I did begin to help others and at the same time expose what was happening, because this narcissist has gotten to the point where he wants to unalive me through others, and he's hiding in plain sight, though he says that's what I'm doing, that I'm just blending into society, which is a projection of what he's doing. So a year ago, I exposed a little of what the narcissist was doing, and I was very careful as to what to expose at the time. And I had an intention with helping to relieve some of the stalking and also to help other people who may be going through the same thing. So what I did, which I didn't disclose to anyone, and I don't think anyone would know it, but knowing the mind of a narcissist, which is a battlefield. The narcissist's mind is a consistent battlefield, and he wants to bring you into that battle. No, if the more you're in peace, the more they try to pull you in any way, and they swap spaces with you in real time and take on your current stance while you're in the situation. For example, recently trying to connect me to these people online. Now, when I explain family, friends, coworkers, firstly, the honest thing with that is that I was never very close with family. I mean, everything was normal until the narcissist came into the picture in 2012. There was no problems, I would say, from my end, as far as my knowledge. But when I say family, I'm not the type to hang out, hours and days and with any family members, unless in the past it was maybe a gathering or you're just paying a visit. I'm a very family oriented person, but I feel like, my family kind of broke down ever since my grandmom died. And so I'm one that I'm not going to force anything, especially when weird things start to happen. So I was never really close to anyone. Also, when it comes to friends for these people online, I don't even know who the majority or half of these people are. I just know what they're doing and what the plans were. As far as coworkers, these were people at work, and if any one of them are online, I'm not sure. The only one that I used to work with that may have been part of this and actually brung a balance of positivity while in it, and I'll go into that later. I'm not saying that my twin flame hasn't done anything wrong. I know people want me to dislike the twin flame a little more than the narcissist, because the narcissist is building that scenario behind the scenes. Again, I stay focused on the person who's been doing this since 2012. If not, he will continue to another group. That was my third job that I had to leave because he coerced and manipulated and paid people until I would leave, because he wants to see me homeless, miserable, with nobody and nothing. So this is why I keep going back to the source, who continuously is wiggling their way out, blame shifting, and just manipulating the situation so they appear actually like me, like they appear like the victim and someone's doing something to them, or there's something else connected, something that happened in our childhood, or some promise that I made, which I want to go into, because this person's continuously mentioning a promise, and I feel like I don't understand how people accept that excuse, as there is many excuses made in order to bind themselves to you. This so-called promise, I'm not even sure what this person is talking about. I think it may be due to promising to help them with business. They asked to come down and help them with something, and promise me. I'm like, all right, yeah, I promise. I'll come down and help you out. But let me remind people that this is a person who is trying to unalive me. Do you keep promises with someone who is trying to take you out? I would think not, but this person is consistently formulating all past conversations, words, any interaction, which there wasn't. This was just phone calls here and there for a short time. Now he's trying to guilt me and shame me and have other people dismiss the fact that this person is trying to unalive me, and using this whole promise thing as an excuse to stay binded, to stalk me. I don't think if somebody broke a promise that gives you the right to stalk, harass, bind them to you, siphon you, take from you, try to steal, money, people, time, jobs. That just, it doesn't warrant for the whole promise thing to be connected to insidious things that are being done to you. And anyone who agrees with that, I start to wonder about them. Are they just as disconnected as the narcissist is? Because I heard that at work, I heard that in other places, sometimes online, whoever, this whole promise thing. And this is how he stays tied to you, binded to you, finding any way possible. I mean, you have a person who knows, I know they're trying to unalive me, but still is trying to recruit me for business. I get it, but it's mind warping for me. So these people, when I say friends, I'm talking about the fact that other people are calling them friends, family, coworkers. I'm not sure what coworkers are involved. The only one I work with the twin flame. If there's someone else, I don't know specifically who that person is. When it comes to family, I can give you an idea of who I think it is, who would fit these characters, and who would be willing to accept money to go against me for no reason, because I didn't have a problem with these people until they started gaslighting me. I reacted and defended myself and maybe even vented due to being gaslit with the narc creating things online, pitting myself and family against each other. And I tried to explain to them what was going on, and I was unheard. They took the narcissist side. I guess the narcissist made me look bad enough. And sometimes it really takes people who already don't like you to even get involved. Because I would think if your family, friends, whoever, and you have care, true care and love for someone, you would ask questions and not get involved, even if you are paid. So I just wanted to clear that up. None of these people were close friends of mine. The twin flame and I knew each other about a year. Everything was fine. People found out about our connection. We never dated. And I also wanted to make it known that the twin flame and I never had a title. He did not cheat on me. He hid the karmic, the person. He started off as friends and talked about me, trying to figure out the twin flame thing. That's what twin flames do. Sometimes they turn to a karmic, which turns out to be exactly that, a karmical lesson. Or they learn the difference between what they feel for their twin flame and someone else that can never really quite get that same feeling, that same connection. And they usually, a twin flame sometimes can turn to a friend, and if that develops into something, that's up to those people. But you turn to other people to talk about what you're feeling because it's so intense and you're trying to get another perspective. And sometimes it can turn into something which is part of the journey and the lesson, but he never cheated on me. I believe this is what the narcissist keeps creating to make him look worse than he is, as far as any type of connection or relationship goes. If he's done something else, there's things that I know, and those things were things he was coerced to and manipulated into. And yes, he can take account for that. I am not dismissing anyone. I am just talking about how I do know a lot of these people were manipulated in and out of things. And when I talk about giving something grace, what I'm saying is that any of us can be fooled, but it doesn't mean you're not guilty. I just take both parts of that duality, where when you know better, you do better. But at the same time, if anything is taken, it should be returned. If there's anything to be held accountable for, obviously that's not up to me. It should happen, but part of it is up to me. At the same time, there is a level of understanding the human mind. The narcissist wants to make it appear as if they need to be held accountable, but yet he is the orchestrator of the whole situation and will continue if I don't stay focused, as he's trying to wiggle his way out so I forget about his initial involvement. Now, I do want to go into this online thing and tell you guys something that I never disclosed in the past. So, when I exposed this about a year ago with my Chosen One channel, for those people who have been behind this story or watching this story from the beginning, I'm sure they'll remember, or hopefully they remember, that I exposed a little bit about what was going on and still was navigating towards helping other people heal at the same time. That's what this channel is about. I do not necessarily want to talk about narcissism alone, any type of abuse or conditionings of the world. I'd like to talk about that more so. So about a year ago, I had exposed the narcissist and told a little bit of my story. Now, what happened in that time, I spoke about co-workers, which that was the more recent thing. I talked about friends, which I'm not really friends with these people. They are called friends by other people because they're not related to me, or maybe some of them are not family and paid actors to act like family, and there may be one, two, or three family members. So when I exposed this, I already knew what the narcissist's next move would be. And what I did was walk him into showing me who he's working with. And he fell for it. Now, when I exposed him, I know that narcissists, they become nervous because you're now speaking your truth. So now they have to come up with a whole new tactic or scenario in order to scare you into not talking. So I knew that the narcissist was going to walk himself into creating something online, which would give me an idea more so as to what is going on, who's involved, what's being said. Now, I myself am being protected by finding this online. I don't look for it. I don't resonate with it. I learned this through other people, through the grapevine, and God has guided me not to look for this because there's so many lies and insidious things said, and I don't allow that to enter my system. The minute I hear someone gearing up to try and gaslight me, make me feel bad about myself, like I'm not who I say I am, I completely immediately detach, whether it be friends, family, co-workers, online. I immediately turn it off. When I see someone is highly manipulated by the narcissist, I do not talk to them. I do not watch them. The minute I hear something, I find a reason either to leave a room, to not listen, change the channel, whatever it may be. I try to keep positive things in my mind, and it kind of just, it pushes me towards my soul tribe, because those people who are offering support and positive things, that's what my mind needs. That's what my brain is looking for, what my system is yearning for. And I'm finding that the way I'm moving now, I'm receiving that naturally. And I like the way that feels. So that's what I keep gearing towards. So yeah, it's helped the way I move, the way I navigate, and how I approach myself, situation, and people. So I'm grateful for that. I'm kind of getting off track here. So a year ago, I exposed the narcissist slightly. And that was done on purpose because I knew what his next move would be, which is to create something online to counterattack my truth, which is, he's doing that now. Currently, he's done that since 2012. Every time I speak my truth, every time I'm showing up, is always something to either silence me, shut me down, scare me out, push me out, all kinds of tactics to just make you disappear. And he's using it actually to make himself more visible, because he does take on my current stance. He swaps characters, tries to connect me to these people online and disconnect himself, because he doesn't want to be affiliated with people who think that way, people who do those things, and is trying to connect me to it so that I appear like I'm like them, and he's not. He's the boss, the one who has it all together, all his ducks in a row, and he's just trying to help me, and he's the hero. Again, the narcissist created this online and then either manipulated or paid. And part of the rules is you don't tell anybody about him. So what he did actually, which was premeditate, was set people up. Narcissists set you up for the fall. So being as though I was exposing him, he was killing many birds with one stone, which is setting up other people as the corporate, setting up other people to take the fall for something. But at the same time, this was to attack me, to silence me, to have people continuously believe that I'm this extremely bad person, nasty, just whorish type of person, and wanted to keep that going, because in fact, if I was going to expose this, who I am is starting to come forward. So in order to hurry up, and he's really quick with what he does, he comes in like a wrecking ball and tries to shut things down before it even gets started. But also knowing that if he does put this together online, what starts to happen when you have a group mindset, people start to talk, people start to turn against each other. And the reason for that is that subconsciously you are trying to keep this mask on of something that you know isn't true. It's kind of like a person who's been in prison for a long time, and they committed a crime, and the world knows they committed the crime, but they're continuously saying that they're falsely in jail, which that does happen. So, we'll have to take that into account. It can happen to people, but there's a lot of them that do start to confess. They do start to tell the truth about what they did here and there, until fully you have all the true cards on the table. And what starts to happen is that you have a lot of demons or entities that are working through these vessels. Again, demons aren't loyal to each other. They use you in order to siphon from others, take from others, bring down the frequency of others, but they're not loyal to each other. There's no honor amongst thieves, which is the same concept. So eventually I knew that these demons that are holding these people hostage will turn on each other. Thus will bring the truth, and people will start talking about certain things, and the good in people will start to come out. The demons will start fighting within each other, and those who are not completely taken over by these entities will start to hear themselves. Because when in fact the target goes silent, it makes people make more noise, and within that noise, people and the truth, people will start speaking the truth, actually. So once you understand the duality of angels and demons, which I'm not talking about a red man with a pitchfork. I use angels and demons as a metaphor to the light and dark, because that's what people seem to connect with and understand more. Because if I go into the spiritual aspect of things, people think you're crazy, you don't know what you're talking about, because we are not taught this in schools or in life, anything about the spiritual side of life, so, and how to detect these things within ourselves and others. So I will explain things in layman's terms where the public can understand. So knowing that the narcissist will do this next, I waited, I remained silent, and I allowed, justice within the 5D to come forth on its own, understanding that duality. Now, touching back base with the narcissist consistently saying that the twin flame cheated on me, we never had or got a chance to establish a title. But if you really, I tend to look at things from all angles, and higher powers allows me to see things at a deeper level. And this is how I'm able to help others understand themselves, because I have a way of picking up on things, again, at a deeper level. So, with the narcissist saying that the twin flame cheated on me, the twin flame's this, the twin flame's that, the twin flame, yes, is learning himself. I don't think that he's an unaliver. And I want people to understand how God works, and I think is a beautiful thing. It's amazing the unconventional ways the universe and God works, because I want people to think about how a twin flame, right, is the other part of your soul essence. So the universe, God, placed the twin flame in the center of the situation for a reason. And that's the download that I got a long time ago. And being placed in the middle of the situation, the twin flame, after a little bit of time, not too long, he started saying positive things, and he didn't feel good about it. He actually started to confess, maybe not all of it, but he's making an attempt to do the right thing. And the fact that the twin flame uttered just one positive note about me shifted the energy in the room. Again, this is a twin flame that God, the universe, placed them in the center of all this darkness. Because in fact, if he was not my twin flame and he was paid to unalive me, being a twin flame, he thought twice, because the 5D soul connection showed up, and it had a little bit enough compassion, because if it were someone else who was deranged, or paid well enough, or did not have not 1 ounce of a conscience, would he have tried to unalive me in another way? Would that person physically just come to you and do something? And the fact that we do have some sort of a soul connection, something higher that people don't understand, I do believe that the twin flame was purposely positioned in the center of this to bring balance. So I want people to take that into consideration, and I'm not siding with the twin flame at all. I know people want me to dislike the twin flame more, because that is what the narcissist is pushing, whether he's contacting people, emailing people. He is using a form of coercion to wiggle his way out of being the corporate, the one who wants me unalive, the one who wants these people to not stop bullying, harassing, or talking about me, because in fact, he is siphoning some type of energy from this, and he's fixated. This person is just quietly, silently enraged inside, because I will not give him what he wants, because I carry this light that he would love to transfer, swapping characters, and this has been his resource. Anyone who knows or is in this type of situation with a narcissist will tell you that they take on your character. And it's strange, because this is a male. It's almost like a single white female situation. And it's something that's so deeply psychologically embedded in narcissists, where it's no shame. And because other people can't see it, they do it so willingly, confidently, and freely, where every scenario they create for you, they're actually acting out how you should be acting, or pretending to be you. They study you to see how you're responding to what they initially created, and then take on that venting, that character, how you should feel. And it's disorienting to people. In the beginning, it was orienting to me, because it keeps you hostage, and he's constantly switching characters, feelings, emotions, situations. And then sooner or later, slowly, he embeds himself into people's system, into their veins. He injects himself so much where he takes on your stance, and then he becomes the chosen one, and I'm the one who's just blending into society. I'm the one who's pretending while he's creating all of this. He does pay people not to talk about him, not to add him to any situation, manipulates them, or just, brings out the pity in people. And he's had this support since 2012 that I didn't receive. Had this pity since 2012 that I didn't receive. So knowing how this works, and how you wind up fighting these battles, defending yourself, explaining for years and weeks and days and months, and I learned that I needed to pull back, take care of my mental health, physical, emotional. And it's not about me. It's about this person's mind's battlefield that he wants me to take a part of. The more I'm defending myself, the more he's taking on my character and switching roles, so it makes him feel visible while making me feel invisible. Hopefully that's making sense. Now, the narcissist is paying very close attention to everything I say, is bothered when I post pictures of myself, so much in detail, where he's extracting certain things in order to catch me up and keep me binded to him, explaining things in a backwards way, saying that I am only telling half truth. No, I'm telling the complete truth. Back in 2012, we spoke for a brief moment here and there. I disconnected after a few months because I realized something wasn't right. In those conversations, in that short time, a lot of things can be said. But once you realize who a person is, you as an individual have the right to protect your energy, your time, your mental health, your physical health. And if he's going to use all these things that were said in the past against me, that is a way to bind me back to him, to hold me hostage to some promise. And this is a person who in the past said promises are made to be broken. But yet, if you made any type of promise, you have to hold up to it, but they don't. And this is a person who promised to leave me alone years ago and never did. Again, to him, promises are made to be broken. For you, you will be stalked, harassed, unalive for not keeping it. What he wants is people to dismiss the severity for an excuse. There's constant excuses to keep you attached to them, energetically, physically, whatever it may be. This is a person who is making these secret videos in the background professing this love, and he tries to sound really sweet and compassionate. This is because he's trying to act like he has emotions now, to the point where he's teasing me saying, sweetheart, I'm going to leave you my number. You can contact me anytime you want. You're free to call, free to text, and I'll call and text you back. This is his way of teasing me, that he's trying to keep other people from contacting me while making it free for me to contact him. So he's trying to lock doors for everything else, healing, moving forward, information that will get me help. I'm not saying that I'm going to be attached to these people, whether there's, apologies or things are straightened out and the truth comes out and I'm given what I'm owed or whatever it may be. These people are not going to be a permanent point in my life, and that's up to the universe. But you have to actually break through those locked walls that the narcissist is trying to create, because he's scared. He's scared that people will heal, figure out the truth, and I'll get some justice and get him to leave me alone. And even with that, narcissists do not care about the law. They could care less about the laws in place. They will, from sun up to sundown, try to change reality for you, keep people apart, angry, not healing, not moving forward, emptying out all that darkness that he orchestrated in the first place. Now, yes, some of these people may be crooked people within themselves, to whoever that resonates with, but it's not for me to fix. It's for me to receive my justice for being attacked for no reason. So again, these stories and scenarios and excuses that the narcissist is creating is to pull on the heartstrings of people and give them a reason to stay binded to me. Now, the narcissist is also abusing in real time without you realizing it. And I'm going to give you an example of this, and then we're going to go into a cellular level as to how this works. Let's take dog whistling. Dog whistling is a tactic that narcissists use. For example, for those of you who don't understand what a dog whistle is, this is when a dog owner or a dog trainer uses a whistle. Within that dog whistle, the only one who can hear the sound of the whistle is the dog. Human beings cannot hear it. Only dogs do. So when they're training these dogs to do certain things, it's not disturbing human beings, other people around that training, or for whatever reason the dog whistle is being used for. So a narcissist will use dog whistling tactics. For example, within something that he may tell you, he knows that some people are hive-minded. Some people repeat things because they believe they discovered something new about you and they want you to know it, or it just comes up in an energy innocently. But you are repeating something he said that appears innocent to you. But it is an abuse scare tactic when you understand what's actually truly being said that another person may not pick up on or detect. For example, let's say the narcissist keeps telling people that I'm sick. This is for me to hear it. You think you're just saying that I'm sick, that I need to stop paying attention to other people and do whatever with other people, and he wants me to focus on my health, or that person who's saying it. The narcissist could care less about your health. What he's actually doing is trying to make you sick by using the power of suggestion so that you do get sick, so that you're worried, full of anxiety, and you're so focused on that that you're not focusing on healing, whether it be with others, receiving what you need to know, to get help. So he's killing many birds with one stone. One, making you focus on your health so that you manifest it, and that's what he wants for you, because he wants to unalive you, and that's called ghost unaliving. It's a very psychologically abusive, emotionally abusive tactic. So the person repeating, and you had so many people saying the same thing. At work, I had people, when I was working at the last job that I left, I had people coming in talking about cancer a lot, and talking about being sick, and suggesting that somebody was sick, or buying a greeting card. I create greeting cards, and buying greeting cards that they want to send to somebody with cancer, and cancer this and cancer that, and sick this and ailments that. This is because the narcissist wants me to get sick and think about it. So what you consistently are putting in your mind, you're manifesting. He's very psychologically abusive. So people think that they're telling you to take care of yourself for your well-being, but what they're actually doing is reminding you to be sick like the narcissist wants. Another example, the narcissist told someone that someone within this group is stalking me, and it's not him, and that this person is in their basement with pictures of me on the wall, and they're hacking into all the social media, and they live in the basement in their mother and father's home. Again, listen to that closely. He got someone else to repeat these words using the power of suggestion, putting the blame that somebody else is stalking me severely, or stalking my child, actually, they said. Stalking my 13-year-old, which my daughter isn't 13, she's 27. But same concept. Now, saying that this person is in their basement, living in their parents' home, and they're hacking your child, your daughter's social media, and they're watching your daughter closely. They're going to do something to your daughter, or whatever. This has been said, not just one person, but with others, because the narcissist is consistently creating scenarios for people to repeat. And what that actually is dog whistling, because what he's trying to tell me, as he did in other places in another form, was talk indirectly about harassing my daughter now because I'm speaking up. So he's trying to scare me through my child, that he's going to bother my child now. So what he's saying is, most people don't know, my daughter lives in the bottom half of my split level home, which is considered the basement. It's like a small apartment set up with all the amenities that she will need. Is her own space. She needs her privacy. And what he's actually saying, I know how your daughter is living. I know where she is. I'm hacking into her things, and I'm going to start bothering her and destroying her if you don't stop talking. Another form, that is kind of putting it on the plate of killing a few birds with one stone. One, scaring you is an indirect threat, because he's not going to tell you that he's going to do that offhand, just simply to your face. He's going to put it in a dog whistle way. I understand the narcissist language. After a while, anyone out there who is a target of a narcissist, they all report the same thing. There is a secret language that is used with the narcissist. Let's say you're at a party, and that abuser is married to someone he's been abusing for a long time, or she. So the person who's being abused understands that the narcissist, the abuser, is trying to make you act the way he wants you to at that party. He doesn't want you to sit next to a guy. So he will say something to threaten you in such a way where other people, they don't understand what he's actually saying. But because she knows the pattern and the history of the secret language, she understands dog whistling. Because he will say something to intimidate her that only her mind, her system, has become accustomed to or understands, due to patterns, the history of it. And it will be put in such a way where other people think it's something nice or of concern, or maybe just saying something to someone else that has nothing to do with the dog whistling, with the indirect threat. So then you'll find that person who's being abused, they'll sit down quietly. They're afraid because they're going to be beaten when they get home, or get a hard time on the drive on the way home. So that person abused understood the dog whistle. They sit down quietly, they behave, they don't conduct themselves, enjoying their time at that party. She was just dog whistled, threatened by the narcissist. Another example, a narcissist, when you're missing, right? He's constantly trying to watch you. If you are no longer in his view, he will trick you to show up so they can see you. They want to watch you. They're kind of trying to feel the room. But what is she doing? Is she smiling? Is she dancing? Is she listening to music? Does she look sad? Does she look sick? So in order to force you to show up, he'll say something like, oh, your house is dirty. Everybody's talking about you. Go home and clean your house. So if you're missing and they want you to show up, they'll hit you where they know you hold pride in keeping your home clean. You don't want to be talked about. But I'm one that I do what I want to do when I want to do it. See, the narcissist thinks he knows me well, but I know him better. So he'll say things and post it online, or have other people say, go home and clean that mess in your house, trying to use guilt and shame to force you into the room so he can see you, so he can hear you, know where you are, kind of to feel your temperature. So that's dog whistling. It's kind of like a reverse code of where the target will say, oh, let me go home and clean my house. People are talking about me. I take pride in my home, in my cleanliness. And so a narcissist will learn you, study you, so they know how to abuse you. And this is done in such a way that other people are either repeating or hearing, and they don't understand what the narcissist is up to. This is coercion. It's not even manipulation. That is, coercion is more sadistic than manipulation, and I'm going to go into that in a minute. But it's a form of dog whistling, gaslighting, reverse psychology type of thing. So I had one of the people at my meetup groups, mind you, we only meet up about twice a month due to the time and schedule accommodations of the venue. I would like to do it more often, get together with people and heal, create art, and kind of just have a lighthearted time and get away from whatever situation they're in. But I did have one of the gentlemen who heard a conversation and asked me, what is the difference between manipulation and coercion? So manipulation is something that you can detect it sooner. Manipulation is something that once you learn the pattern, your mind can pick it up. It's just easier than coercion. Coercion is a very insidious, sneaky snake way of getting into your head that actually can cause brain damage. It can cause you to disconnect from your reality, and in time leaves the narcissist with full control of you. So what happens at a cellular level, you have these neurons, actually I think they're called synapses in your brain. Basically, it's a cerebral neurovascular network that works in your brain. So the what's called synapses, these are nerves in the brain that are consistently connecting and deconnecting, and it kind of looks like this, where they're constantly doing this in your brain. So every time you learn something, these nerves are constantly doing this, waiting for something, I guess, to learn, um, whatever have you. So these nerves are constantly bouncing into each other, waiting to learn something. And when you learn something, what happens is one of the nerves connect and they bind to each other like that, right? They kind of adhere to each other and become one. So in time, let's say you're in school and you learn your ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, that stays with you because those nerve endings, they picked up what you were teaching the person, and those nerve endings connect, and it keeps a record so that you keep remembering, which is why some older people, when they go through Alzheimer's, those nerves are no longer working. So what happens is when you're being taught negative things, is doing the same thing with manipulation and coercion. With manipulation, once you pick up and you're able to get over that hump on the other side, that you were either fooled, manipulated, you can detach those nerves and kind of rewire what you were taught and put it forth in the right direction with something more positive, or something that's going to lead you to a positive route, or something that's helping you in some way. So when you're learning negative things, what's happening as far as the spiritual dark side, when you're being coerced, since it's hard to detect and those nerves are constantly clashing into each other, what happens is the nerves don't know where to go. They're attaching, but somehow the wrong wires are attaching to the wrong thing, which causes brain damage and causes to change your reality. And you no longer feel normal. You're looking for that old self again. You're looking for those neurons to attach actually the proper way. So this is why coercion is considered worse than your typical manipulation tactics. So when you're dealing with a narcissist and you don't understand the psychological abuse part of it, the deep, dark, like snake-like, demonic, diabolical portion of it, it's not like someone manipulating another person and saying, hey, I'm going to the gas station, and they actually went somewhere else, and you start to pick up that pattern. This is more of a psychological hit in all the wrong places that can actually damage a person. So I suggest that when you're dealing with someone who's just seems like a difficult person, to pay close attention to, is this someone that can change? Is this someone who's maybe has an issue today and can help themselves, and tomorrow is different? When you're dealing with narcissists, they don't change. So if you're experiencing them long term, it can cause like coercive brain damage. So that's the difference between manipulation and coercion. One is much more insidious and can really affect people if you are not one to stop and assess things properly and kind of regroup yourself often enough where you're not allowing this person to get into your spirit, into your mind, or how your brain works at a cellular level. I don't think a lot of people stop and think about how this is done, where it comes from, and how you keep yourself safe energetically, emotionally, mentally. It's very important to understand how this even happens within your spirit, or biologically, because that really does help in the end. Now, when it comes to psychological abuse, dog whistling, gaslighting, the narcissist taught himself how to mind control people, and he often used MK Ultra type of tactics. Um, let's say, for example, I'm going to give you it's kind of like another, a different door open into dog whistling where, let's say, for example, every time you walk out of the door, I think I explained this before, someone hits you over the head with a red bat. After a while, you're no longer going to walk out of that door because you know when you see a red bat, something is going to hurt you. Well, the narcissist uses this with color-based harassment, where he'll tell people who are gaslighting you at the time to wear certain colors. So every time you're gaslit, this is the narcissist's dog whistle way of telling you that it's his message, that he's behind it, that he either manipulated or paid that person, and that person may be told that they're wearing these colors for another reason. Some of them know what it is, and some of them do it unknowingly. Now, do I think every person who is wearing the designated colors is involved? No. That is usually attached to that gut feeling, that intuition that I get, because in fact everything else will line up, you know, with what's being said or done, or it's kind of like, it's like coercion, basically trying to affect you where you can't prove it, but the abuse is being done. So the narcissist who can't control me in the physical, and I'm nowhere to be found in the physical, tries to find psychological ways through either people online or your neighbors doing certain things that you can't explain, or you can explain, but it doesn't quite point to it being factual. And then the narcissist will say, well, she's crazy, she's overthinking it, and maybe she's psychologically messed up because of her childhood. Or no, I'm very well put together. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I know exactly what this is. And that's what's told about many chosen ones, because we see and hear what others don't. You know, and it's funny how that works out, because when people can't see you, when they can't see you, that's when they begin to view you. When they don't listen, but yet later on they suddenly can hear you, they can go back in time and remember what you said, you tried to warn. So it's strange, because you see and hear things in real time that other people don't. And when you're no longer in view, they can see you. When they can no longer listen to you, now they suddenly hear you. It's strange how that works out. And I think that we need to stop and take time to actually appreciate people in our lives while they're there. I think either we take them for granted, or we don't see them as important enough. You know, we see them like peasants next to others. And it's kind of ironic, because people tend to chase people who treat them poorly. They want people who, and there is a whole biological reason for that. I'll go into that in another video. But it's like you have no value because you're showing them too much value. And they'll chase and love and care for and protect those people who don't show them their value, their worth. It's strange how we as humans do that, but I tend to appreciate people while they're in my life in real time. I don't waste time. That's just who I am from beginning to the end of the relationship, and can still appreciate people if they're not in my life for the, you know, what good times we had and what understandings we did have. And maybe that person's either going through something, going through lessons or changes, and I take everything into consideration, but I'm not a fool either where I let people take advantage of me. I think a lot of times when you're a good person, people really misconstrue that with other things, and it's unfortunate. But you know, I don't claim to be a perfect person, but I do understand the value of the people in our lives while they're in it. Now, a narcissist wants you constantly binded to them by explaining yourself, defending yourself, He wants everyone in his corner, and I'm not saying that this person doesn't deserve um, anything. I mean, at the same time, when you're that mean and evil of a person, you should be sat down to yourself, because you're really taking advantage and toying with a lot of people. So I have my mixed feelings, but I'm indifferent with that. um, but the narcissist hates me showing up, and the more I show up, the more he creates excuses. um, as I mentioned, this person pretends to be so many things to receive that respect, and all they have to do is put everything the way they want to be viewed on the back burner and actually work on themselves. But that's like talking to the wall. Narcissists get worse with age, not better. They continue the same tactics like it's working. For example, this is a person who will make comments online for many years and then answer himself as me, and truly believes that it's me answering him. And I find that very creepy. Um, and I can't find another word for it. I'm just being honest. I'm saying it the way, God is downloading me with it. So it's disturbing. It's very disturbing. But as time has gone on, I had to learn to protect my peace, my energy, my mind, because I'm the only one who's going to be in control of that. I'm the one holding this vessel and what's within it. So it's my responsibility. But other people don't understand how they're either used or manipulated or coerced into saying things, doing things. The narcissist right now is trying to have the spiritual community doubt me and push me out. And slowly, if it continues, which I have no control over, we all have free will. I just have a different perspective as to what free will is. Slowly they'll enter, inject themselves into your veins until you have hate. He has this skillful way of tweaking your emotions. Now, this is a person who will tell people, oh, think logically, don't think emotionally. The narcissist wants you to disconnect emotionally. And then logic to him means that he's able to manipulate and coerce. But yet, when he wants emotions to be felt for him, he will pull on your heartstrings and get you to feel that emotional pity and support for him. But yet he doesn't want others to give it to each other. Because if you get into your heart, you are getting into your empathy and compassion. So in order to dismantle your empathy and compassion as a human being, he wants you cold in order to be able to pit you against each other. But yet when he wants emotions for himself to be felt by you, he will use that tactic of tweaking your emotion, whether it be angering you, making you feel sorry for him. And again, the reason I say this is because no one is doing anything to this person. He keeps creating all these situations and is very clever in doing so to keep you binded to him and attached into his delusions. And slowly, from sun up to sundown, will dog walk you into that delusion. And if you don't take that on, he becomes angry, and he proactively thinks about this all day long on how to change your mind, like he's doing to me since 2012, trying to force me to change my mind and to see him as the hero. And it's almost like he doesn't think I can see you. It's the Jekyll and Hyde, where he sends in the representative Hyde to, conduct himself one way, but Jekyll's in the background and knows what the plan is. So I know he's the antagonist since 2012. That's why I stay focused on the initial problem, because it will only continue for me. But he's trying to backtrack narratives so that I'm focused on other people as the problem. And yes, they are, but the initial problem is you. Eventually, he wants me and other people to put focus on everything else but the initial problem, who will only create more terrorizing in my life. And he's done this consistently, wiggle his way out. So this way people understand that it's not about necessarily taking sides. I'm on the right side of things, looking at it at a 360 view from the right perspective, but it isn't anyone else who is going to continuously have to deal with this stalker terrorizing me and trying to threaten my children and so forth. And until I do what he says, he continues. So if there's anyone out there who is offering any help, I'm doing what I can. And it may be a slow process with me getting some leads here to get further to receive some justice is trickling in. But other people can help me quicker or with more details. If not, I'm not going to stop seeking justice. And the narcissist doesn't want me to stop because this is the way he keeps me binded to him. If I say I'd rather be dancing, on vacation, sleeping, enjoying myself, working, whatever it is, that is me being distracted. So he will create things so that my mind is back on him. So it's become natural to me to detach, disconnect. I already know all the tactics, and it's a little redundant and predictable. This is how he ups the ante and trying to get your attention and keep it there because he doesn't want you to get away. And in fact, he's using other people to help him for me not to get away. Because if he's consistently trying to dog whistle and gaslight in these indirect ways, that's basically throwing punches, because if he's talking about your character, that's a blow to your eye. If he's talking about you physically, that's like him kicking you in the back. If he's destroying your character, that's like them locking you in a room in the dark for days without food. So a lot of people describe the emotional and mental abuse, which can go into physical. I've had women who told me I'd rather get punched in the eye and deal with a black eye than to deal with the mental abuse. That should give you an idea of what I'm talking about here. But I myself have managed to keep myself together. I'm mentally sane. But it at times it did get exhausting, but that's what the narcissist wants so that you get sick. I managed to keep that together as well. When you know exactly what's happening from both ends of the spectrum and you understand duality, it's harder for these demons, these entities to affect you. It doesn't mean that you're not human, but you do have the upper hand when you understand things at a deeper level. Now, with the narcissist trying to have me doubted because I'm showing up for myself online, it's like it doesn't get through that person's head that you're a dangerous person when you don't care about people's validation, whether you're accepted or if everyone's talking bad about you or you're being gaslit, dog whistled, whatever it may be. I don't think it's gotten through his head that you are a dangerous person when a lot of things can't affect you. You've learned to sustain yourself, and I'm grateful for that because not a lot of people can. So this is why I take my time making videos. I do want to create them more often to help people. But I'm not easily moved by all the tactics. I watch, look, and listen like an eye in the sky, and already know what it is, even though others don't. And I think it's a good thing because other people are seeing in real time how these demons work in duality, how intricate the dynamics are. A lot of people say when you look at the devil and the tactics and how the devil gets into our spirit, our minds, and world conditioning. I mean, this goes into a bigger aspect of life. we don't know how it's done half the time, and we basically either sign our lives over or give permission for things and don't even know we're doing so, because we're manipulated and coerced into giving up either rights, or we help change things and don't even know it in the wrong direction. So when you know yourself and you're grounded and you're focused, if more and more people are able to do that, then you could speak up about concerns. But if the majority of people are being manipulated, sometimes that falls on deaf's ear. But there's still hope with people understanding world conditioning, what's healthy for you, what's not. I mean, I think we're going in the right direction, though it will take some time. Recently, not too long ago on a live, the narcissist made a comment and said, oh, she's cheating on her husband, something about her having a burner phone, and I know she's cheating, but I can't prove it yet. Now, mind you, you're forced to find ways to get these people, all of them, out of your business. I mean, if it was done to them, they wouldn't like it. But these people, you know, with beginning with the narcissist, he addicts people to you, and these people want to embed themselves into your life, and it's almost like they believe they're feeding off your energy and tricking themselves when they have a worth to come into, to find, and hobbies and things they like about themselves. I don't understand it. So not only is the narcissist the one who started this online thing and wiggled his way out of involvement, he's paying attention to every minute thing, what I'm doing on my phone, whether I have a burner phone or not. So you're trying to keep me away from the twin flame, away from family, or what you guys call friends, and you're trying to cause all this confusion and fear base, and other people are helping him to do this. If so, why are you so fixated on whether or not I have a burner phone and I'm talking to another human being, or if I'm in a relationship, or have a friend, or being invited somewhere, or just whatever it may be? It's so I don't know what word to use for that you want to, a person who has it in for you so bad that they do not want you communicating with the birds in the tree. They are way too embedded into your business, and I don't know how other people don't see this as something wrong. Because I do what I want to do. I say what I want to say. I know how to conduct myself. I have myself together. I never said I was a perfect person. And it's just a testament that people are telling you how they view you, to the point where they want to become you. And there's certain things that you refrain from saying because you don't want to come off as either conceited, or you don't want to ruffle feathers or make someone feel bad who's not feeling so good about themselves. And it's like you get tired of walking on eggshells. So at this point, again, I say what I want to say. I do what I want to do. This person wants to oppress me my whole life, and it's not going to happen. And they see that as a challenge, but I still keep moving as normal. I mean, this person is going to live and end his life, at the end of his life, living through someone else. How is that living? It's not right. It's against the law. And I think people should come together and speak against this in the right direction. I am not attacking this person. I want him to leave me alone. I want justice. But in a sense, this is why some people out there seek street justice, because some people just don't understand that you're pushing your limits. And it's a good thing that I'm a decent person and I'm trying to do this the right way. But the narcissist isn't. He doesn't care who gets hurt, who gets unalive, who loses stuff, who doesn't have food on the table. Cares about no one, but yet he can extract this pity, support, and care from people to the point where they're angry at me for protecting myself. And that's part of the abuse, is that it's so distorted. And after this video, he will extract more, debunk more, discredit me more, and have people view me a certain way again and again and again. It's a game. It's a hobby for this person. So if there's anyone out there who's professional or not that wants to do the right thing, I'm not afraid to say I can come together with someone, whether it be a professional or not, to end this. Because if you are deciding to stay in this because you're feeding off of it, getting paid, or you're gaining something instead of helping someone else, is only going to get worse for you in the end. These types of things don't end well, regardless of how that ending is. But I know I'm going to continue to protect myself, defend myself, but I'm not going to go out my way and feed people the energy they're looking for. I'm simply expressing. I'm not going to give people the reaction they're looking for. You know, but if I do happen to get angry, that's a human emotion. I'm not a robot. And that's part of the abuse. Because they tease you, haha, I got you upset, I got you crying. And then if you're quiet, oh, you're weak. So they're constantly trying to bounce your emotions back and forth. And that becomes part of the abuse. It's like, for example, you know, these people come together, or the narcissist has done it by himself in the past with 2 other jobs, where he gets people to harass you, whether paid or manipulated, so that you're so uncomfortable you have to leave. And then I save money, so I'm able to sit at home a few weeks or whatever have you. I also do other things as an entrepreneur that they can't get to, so I can sustain myself. But then you're sitting at home after making you lose your job, and then they call you a deadbeat. Oh, she wants to sit around and do nothing. Oh, she's losing money. This person's always talking about money. Why doesn't someone respond and say, dude, I don't want to hear about her life. That's her life. I don't want to know about her money or who she's hanging out with, what she's doing at all. Why doesn't someone respond to this person and say, stop telling me negative stuff about this person and mind your own business? You see, not enough people stand up. It's almost like they like the gossip. You want to hear something negative about someone else so you can feel good about yourself. Because I don't care what you're doing. If you're a friend or family member that is reciprocal love and care, obviously, you know, we're going to pour into each other's cup. But otherwise, I don't need to know what you're doing all day, what vocation, what job you have, how much money you're making. These people are way too fixated on me. There was a point where I was living paycheck to paycheck and had a little bit saved on the side, and they're still trying to get your money. They're still trying to stop you from working and elevating. I think this is because these people see your potential and they don't see their own. What does that tell you? Not one time do I care, ask about, or repeat what these people are doing. If I'm venting in my home due to what they're doing, rightfully so, look what you're doing. So that's another form of abuse, because these people, they are trying to affect you, but you're not allowed to vent, complain, or talk about it. Just take what we're giving you because you deserve it, because you think you're better than us because of what? Do you think I'm doing better than you? And why is that a focus? We're so focused on the external things that you don't get a chance to develop the inner self. When you develop the inner self, everything else falls into place, and abundance is attracted to you and you it. But since you're so focused on someone else, that inner self doesn't get anywhere. It doesn't attract things. And if people are looking for a life lesson as to how to elevate, why don't you just talk to me as a friend and say, hey, I could use some advice here, or I can use a little help there. You have any suggestions? It's gotten to the point where I'm going to start charging. Because if you're going to abuse to force your way in to find out about my life, to see this or see that, how does she do it? Or her, anything about her spirit or her vocation, or how does she stay positive? You have to do that inner work and it'll start coming to you easily. You can't just piggyback off of other people and extract that from someone else. Because it can't be hate. I didn't do anything to these people. Not one of them. It's all a man construction. Orchestrated. Man, woman orchestrated by one lead person who wants to see you not do well. Why? If there's so much great going on in this narcissist's life, why did your wife leave you? Why does your wife make videos on narcissism? And though done differently, is describing the same thing I'm saying. So now this narcissist has claimed his wife was trying to discredit him and do something to them and attack their career. There's always an excuse and always pointing the finger because they feel they're not doing well. And when you move on and do well for yourself, because it is your own journey, the narcissist doesn't like it. And then when you speak about them abusing you, they're pointing the finger. This woman did this guy's doing that. Oh, they're the one. It's constantly pointing the finger, and they do not mind their business and move on with their life. Had they done that, they would be happier and in better places, because obviously they don't feel good about themselves. So they rather just take it, steal it, manipulate people out of it. And what I'm going to leave you with this video, I'm exactly who I say I am. I am not just blending into society as a certain kind of person. This is who I am. And I'm not going to run and hide anymore. I shouldn't have to keep explaining that. What has been encoded into my DNA, my blueprint, belongs to me. I can't apologize for that. It's a lot of people living in their worth and in their purpose. And even if things aren't so great, they're happy. Or they're content. They're comfortable. I'm comfortable and I'm grateful for that. I'm not rich. I'm not famous. I don't know what these people are after, but I'm comfortable. And I've come into myself, and that can't go anywhere. Even if you're trying to force me to not be myself. Even if I try to force myself, it is what it is. That's why they have to use so much coercion to distort your reality. So I want to end this video. I just wanted to catch people up on a few things and kind of give you an inside look of manipulation versus coercion. I didn't get too much into the manipulation portion of it, how that works. But manipulation is self-explanatory. Coercion is just a little, the dynamics are much more profound than you can explain. So hopefully that did help some people. But thanks for joining me. I'm always appreciative if even one person gets something out of my videos. And stay cool, guys. Stay hydrated. Stay focused. Love yourself first, and everything else will fall into place. Thank you. Like and subscribe if you wish. Bye.